Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. But before we get into that, man, last week our Webtoon segment, episode 3 dropped due to scheduling. We couldn't record it for this week, so that's why it came out early, like we said in the episode. So no episode this week, but next week there will be one. So that might happen every now and then. Again, it depends on the schedules that we have, and then new Marvel talk should be coming out this week. It's going to be good. A lot of stuff to talk about. Can't wait for that episode. So let's go ahead and start this episode off. We got an email here from the boy Mark. Appreciate it as always, man. So that's universepodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, so this email, it's about Inuyasha. I don't know how big you guys are in the Inuyasha. Grant, I know you know a little bit about it.
Mine is very minimal, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm a big Inuyasha guy myself. So in the email, he's talking about Yashahime, right? The sequel that's coming out. We did get a trailer for that. We'll get into more detail for that later. And he talks about how, it's about Sesshomaru Inuyasha's daughters, right? They're the main characters. And that we found out that Sesshomaru's, had a kid with Rin, right? That was the girl that was tagging along with him in the whole series. And he reminded me today, I was streaming earlier today, he reminded me that the last chapter there was an epilogue, so that kind of changed it up for me just a bit, because I was like, yeah, wasn't she really young in the series? She was like 11 years old or whatever. Yeah, so I guess at the end of the time skip, she was 14, so that means, he's like, how do you guys feel about that? And for me, I'm like, well, obviously time had to pass by, I would guess like probably 5-10 years have passed since the end of the anime and the manga to when they had kids. And I think we talked, I don't remember if we talked about it before, if it was off mic, yeah. But I mean, I thought it was obvious, as soon as we found out Sesshomaru had kids, and I'm like, well, it's obviously going to be Rin. There's only one other character that would be the other obvious pick, but this just makes more sense.
Shippo had kids.
See, I don't know. I mean, he probably did, or it's just like another fox that's just hanging around. Yeah, the trailer dropped, and just to talk about it real quick, it's going to be released in Japan October 3rd. That has me hyped. I hope that means we could get it sooner here, like around the same time frame. And gosh, the animation quality is great. It looks so crisp and clean. And there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here with the new characters. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm guessing this is like 20-ish years after or something, because there's a 10-year time skip in the first episode. So, I'm guessing, 20, 25 years since we ended Inuyasha, which, I mean, that's how it has to be, because they're like 14-ish, the kids are, so... Yeah, I'm hyped. It looks pretty cool. There's a lot of new stuff that they're throwing in here, and we still don't have the answer of whether or not everybody's dead or not. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how well it holds up compared to Inuyasha, because again, Rumiko Takahashi is not involved in this. She only did the character designs for all the new characters. Mark also asks, I guess there's a rumor, I haven't seen this anywhere yet, but I guess there's a rumor that Disney's gonna retcon the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. Which I highly doubt, because that's right. I don't really see that happening.
You mean like episodes 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah, all the ones with Rey, Finn, and Poe.
They're just gonna scrap it?
How?
Well, retcon, yeah, either they're gonna scrap it or they're gonna change what happened in those movies down the line in either whatever form of media they want. But I don't know, I highly doubt that this is gonna happen. Mainly because they're movies. They didn't really retcon the prequel trilogies. They added stuff in there that's, kind of dumb, but then they added stuff that's good, so I don't know.
They retconned the expanded universe.
Yeah, they did. God damn it.
Yeah, and they're bringing pieces back that they want to bring in for more control and all that. Yeah. So he asks, is there anything or any franchise that you would like to retcon? I don't know, is my question.
That's a good question. I would have to say I don't know either, because, simply to put, it is what it is,
It is what it is.
I guess if we could retcon Dark Phoenix at one point.
Get rid of Dark Phoenix, change up Apocalypse. I hope Warner Brothers gets bullied into doing it, but just having Whedon's Justice League not canon and having Zack Snyder's the new canon.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be that hard to have the universe still continue on after if they decide to switch the movies, because the movies that are post Justice League, they're not really, if they're affected, it's very minimal, so it's, you could get away with it.
Which I hope the Snyder Cut is going to have a lot of changes, that way it can be the official, you know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be a completely different movie that we got, and I'm sure it'll be popular, and I really hope that moving forward Warner Brothers is going to just stick with that one.
They're going to be like, wow, this is actually really popular. Why didn't we do this? But no, we already know
why. But that's all I could really think of. I wouldn't say, because there are good moments, but I kind of would retcon what's going on right now in Dragon Ball Super, for sure.
They're losing to an ox in a bowl or whatever.
No, he's a goat.
Oh, he's a goat? I've only seen like the manga scans of the Japanese ones. And I'm like, oh man, looks like they're getting their butts handed to. Again.
It's ridiculous for the wrong reasons.
But yeah, I got nothing else to add on to that question. Because I'm more of like I said.
So thanks, Mark. And again, that's unversepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. Yeah, speaking of sequels, they're happening all over the place. Yasha's getting one. And Nanatsu no Taizai, right, aka Seven Deadly Sins, the manga ended not that long ago. And we got confirmed the other day that it's getting a sequel, which I just don't see why. Just let it end, please. I was very glad it finally ended, because it just didn't want to stop. So who knows? I'll check out the premise at least, and then see where we go from there. Yeah.
At least it wasn't too dragged out,
Oh no, it was dragged out.
It was? Oh shit.
Yeah. Because at the end of every fantasy series, it's always, we have to fight the big bad. But how many big bads are you gonna fight? The last boss they fought was an idea. That's how.
What?
That's how dumb it got. Yeah. It always sucks to see a manga drag like that, and for it to get a sequel like that, geez. There are some redemptions to sequels over here on the end of Bleach. If you guys remember, the anime is happening right for the final arc here. And then they also announced with that Kubo's one-shot Burn the Witch, which is sort of a spin-off of Bleach, that's getting the movie. And they announced for Weekly Shonen Jump that it's going to be serialized. My assumption is that this series is going to be based on the movie, because they also said it's only going to be 4 chapters long. So it's going to be like just one volume of manga. I'm looking forward to that. They said that's going to be coming out soon. So sometime this year, that's going to drop.
Nice.
Well, mainly this is for the One Piece monthly magazine that's out there. The light novel dropped a while back for One Piece called Ace's Story. This was the story that was talking about how Ace built his pirate crew before he met Whitebeard. And it's canon, which is cool. And that's being adapted into a manga. And that is, well, it was supposed to be for the September issue, but I guess something happened and it might be delayed to October. But that's going to be a new monthly series adapting the light novel for that. And that's going to be drawn by Boichi of Sun Ken Rock fame and Dr. Stone. So I'm very hyped to check that out as well. Let's get into this, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
We got that state of play. This is all focused on either VR, third party, or some minimal PS5 updates. I gotta say, this was a pretty good state of play.
I agree. I had a good time. I'm like, wow, it's the indie games. I care about indie games.
And I was surprised, man, that this was an hour-long stream. Because they're usually like 20 minutes. Yeah, we got a pretty good look at what Crash 4 is going to be about. Last time we had a kill on the show, he said, he was like, I don't need it. Like, what's new for me kind of thing. Because he's a big Crash fan, right? And it's like, plus with the $60 pricing, it was like, I don't know, is Crash worth $60 again? Watching the trailer, I was like, I understand why because they're adding so much into this game. There's a lot, you got the 4 playable characters. There's all the unlockable costumes, and then you could throw in the filters when you play.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I think that's like a nod to Naughty Dog, I think, because like with the Uncharted game, I know with Lost Legacy, once you beat that game, you could replay it with filters on it. Like there's like a pixel filter, pastel, black and white kind of stuff. But with these filters for Crash 4, it changes certain mechanics that happen in the game. And so it's like, oh, okay, so that way your replayability is not going to be the same when you New Game Plus it. So that's cool. And then the fact that all the characters play different, like Crash's sister is not just a Crash clone. I thought that was pretty nice.
I like the filter where it's like everything's like black and white and you just have to spin to paint the level.
Yeah, pretty creative. Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah, that's coming out October. And I'll keep an eye on it. I probably won't get it because I'm not the biggest Crash fan. The next one was a surprise. They showed off Hitman, the Hitman 3 coming in to close off this new trilogy. And it's VR.
That's crazy. I won't lie, I'm like, what? I would have never imagined putting this game in VR, you know what I mean? Like, first person Hitman, I hope it works well. I don't know.
But I could see it working pretty nice. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they said the other 2 Hitman games are going to be VR as well, right?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't really catch that part. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't have a VR still, but if I did have one, that's a game I would definitely be very hyped and would purchase.
After that, they showed off Braid Anniversary Edition. I guess it's the 10-year anniversary.
You call it Braid? I've always called it Baird.
Like from Gears of War, it's Braid. There's a difference.
I know. I always called it that on accident, but
Baird.
I know. This is cool. I only played the demo of this game back in like 360 days, probably when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
But damn, those improvements though.
For the anniversary, they decided to repaint a lot of the backgrounds, and they smoothed out the animations by, I think, would they say tripling the amount of frames?
Yes, yeah. And he could do like extra little things. But that's cool. See, like there are some games out there that deserve this kind of treatment.
Oh yeah.
From back in the day, and I think there's a bunch, and I'm sure with time we'll get them.
And then next, man, this was a game that really caught my eye of how different it is. This is a PS5 game, and it's called The Pathless.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is from Giant Squid, and it seems simple enough, right? Because it feels kind of like a rhythm game, right? As you're sliding through the grass or you're flying on your eagle, you just have to hit the targets, and then you could just keep up with the same momentum and all that.
You know what that reminds me of? When I was watching it, it reminded me of something like Sunset Overdrive. I don't know why, but like I feel like that's how it's gonna flow for me when I play the game. Because Sunset Overdrive, which is remember that Xbox One exclusive launch?
Yeah, Insomniac.
Title? Do you remember that? But that's what this game reminds me of. The Pathless. That's what it reminds me of. Like free flowing, and the puzzles look really fun too.
Yeah. The graphics are really great. We got a new waifu for the main character. And,
not yet, man. We can't talk about that yet.
Another game coming in with no HUD or no map, right? You have to use landmarks to figure out where you're trying to go.
Game, your environment is your HUD. I like shit like that, dude. It's
great. It's trying to make you more immersive into the game. And then, man, when this fire deer demon thing showed up for a boss fight, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's like a rush. It was very much a rush. But yeah, dude, those boss battles straight up like Shadow Colossus.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's like stealth mechanics where you have to hide in the grass while the boss is walking around. And then you have to. It's sort of like a puzzle into fighting him. I thought that was a cool way to do it.
The eagle. Can you pet the eagle? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You give it a nice little pet. It's all nice and clean.
I like it. Definitely a game that's going to be on my radar for sure. But I could also see that game being like a PlayStation Plus game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Yeah, I'm very
definitely on my
interested in
radar.
this game because like we see like you're chasing the boss down in the trailer, and then yeah, you have to. It's all about timing, hitting those marks correctly. I wonder how that plays out, right? You actually hitting the target, like how do you miss and all that. I'm looking forward to more info on this game whenever that comes out. So I'm guessing we're going to be getting this. It says coming soon, but I would say early next year probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Good times.
That was a great start to the big indie hitters for PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game after, they showed off Spelunky 2, which, I mean, the first one was free for Plus, I think, once. And that's all I know.
I think I think I have it. Spelunky is a puzzle cave looter.
So this next game also caught my interest. It's coming out PS4 later this year. Genshin Impact.
Anime.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like an anime set in the fantasy world. Great character designs.
Yeah, very anime.
I think Adam said it kind of reminds him of the Tales games.
You know what? That's what I had in mind when I was watching the trailer. I'm like, is this another Tales game?
Mm-hmm.
And then that came up, and I also thought, like, is this Grand Blue? What is this?
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
You know, but the anime style is different. So I'm like, yeah, it's a brand new game. I'm not the biggest into like anime games. I would love to be invested in one, but I don't know. I feel like I would lose interest, but it's worth giving a try.
Oh yeah.
But as for this game, I feel like it should be an MMO. At least that is what it seems like.
That's what it kind of looks like, right? Yeah. So I mean, it is going to have online co-op, right? So I'm sure we'll get that MMO stuff in there. The cool thing they said as well is that it's going to be cross-play.
Oh, okay, nice.
And man, the hypest thing I saw was the next game, and then immediately after was very disappointed in the news following it. Aeon Must Die was a beat 'em up that looked so fucking cool, man.
It was like a turn-based beat 'em up, something like that, right?
Oh yeah, it has an RPG alignment system. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you, man. That looked really cool. I rewatched the trailer. I'm like, damn. You know what? That looks fucking cool. The designs. I like the neon designs and how we're looking like Sentai characters and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I would have played this one for sure.
Me too. But then again, immediately after, you hop on Twitter, and then you just find out that this entire trailer was bullshit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so a lot of abuse over on the dev team that worked on the game, and that the trailer wasn't even made by them. It was made by a different studio, I think. Oh yeah, people who worked on trailer, they're not with the company anymore. Some of them weren't even paid.
Wow.
There's IP conflict involving with the trailer. The IP was stolen from the original creators. Really crazy to see, man. It's disappointing to hear about that.
Someone is gonna get hella bad rep at the end of that.
Yeah, and that's supposed to come out, I think, this year. So I don't know. We'll see if we get any like big news about what's going on with all this situation with the devs and the IP stuff. Then I would grab it if they fix all that stuff. But it's not something, sadly, you should really support.
Yeah. It hasn't been declared canceled now, has it? No, right?
Nope. I haven't seen anything, any updates for it since the state of play. The next game, though, definitely piqued my interest as well. New cyberpunk game called Anno Mutationum. Yeah, this is dropping December of this year on PS4. Action game, RPG elements. It's a mix of 2D and 3D. And it's pixelated as well, which, watching the trailer in the beginning, I was like, oh, I like this style. And then once your main character took a turn, down a hallway, and then you realize oh, this is pixel art. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, we've had gameplay before, but this was the trailer that they showed off.
There's a lot of Cyberpunk games coming out, man. It's crazy, but it's cool. I'll take them all.
Mm-hmm.
See what they all got.
So then they showed off some Bugsnatch stuff, and I mean, it's Bugsnatch. I don't have a lot to say for that.
Dude, that game. This is gonna be man.
I've said it before and I've said it again. People are only gonna buy that game because Sarah Bonito made a song for that game, and people went nuts.
I guess this one was like more of a story trailer, right? Like what it's gonna be about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just gotta look at what the story is.
You know what? I didn't expect it to be first person, unless that's how the announcement trailer was. I kind of totally forgot, but
I don't think they showed off first person for the announcement.
But yeah, it's first person. You're brand new to this town, world, whatever they're living in, and you're just like, hey, I forgot what that detective person says. Yeah, are they supposed to be walruses or something?
Dude, it's
like
it's that Rick and Morty stuff, man. I don't know.
Man. We're going off the deep end, man. I don't think I'm gonna even bother to like figure it out.
And speaking of first person, man, got a new VR game from EA. It's a Star Wars VR series, so this is not the first. This is not the only one. But Vader Immortal VR is coming. I think this year.
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, August 25th.
That looks fucking cool.
Honestly, man, I kept thinking of Star Wars Connect the entire time.
A VR Star Wars game is what was needed, honestly. Like
it was a matter of time. Like yeah. I will say it is kind of weird it's called Vader Immortal because you fight. I'm assuming you're going to fight Vader at the end if you choose like the good side of the Force.
You know what this game is, just Danny? Remember the arcade? The Star Wars arcade with like the flight joystick?
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that Vader fight in that game. That's what this is, basically. Yeah, this game looks fucking dope, though. I won't lie.
Dude, the next thing that they showed off right after caught my interest. I'm like, it's time to pick up Control, man. Because the Expansion 2 trailer, Awe, was really nice.
Yeah, it's Alan Wake, right?
Is it?
I think that's what I was told that it's going to have to do with Alan Wake. Alan Wake E. I don't know what the E stands for. I think the AW stands for Alan Wake. But I think E stands for either events or expansion. I would think that's what they're trying to say.
Well, no, it's AW stands for Altered World Events.
Altered World Events? Oh, okay.
Including one from the town of Bright Falls. So I'm guessing that's where Alan Wake is at?
Yep, and I think that's the one, yeah.
Okay. So that's dropping on the 27th this month.
Nice. I haven't played Control. Have you played Control?
No, I've kept hearing good things about it, especially during the Game Awards last year. And I was thinking about grabbing it up, but after watching this trailer, I'm like, you know what? Now's the time to pick it up. Dude, this next game, I was like, oh, I've heard of this. Auto Chess.
Dude, I was in a Discord chat with my buddies, and they were explaining to me what this is. And like, yeah, this is just a genre of games called Auto Chess. And I'm like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool. And then the name comes up, it's called Auto Chess. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the gameplay for it, but cool, man.
Honestly, man, it looks very overwhelming. There you go. The game looks very overwhelming. I don't know. I was like, oh god, there's so much going on right now.
Right. Yeah, so that's Auto Chess. Next, we had another indie game, The Pedestrian. That looked pretty fun. It's like a platformer, but it's using the pedestrian sign, right? Like the little character on the mop signs, and he's just going through like signs, papers, whiteboards, all that fun stuff that they can do with this idea.
Dude, tell me that the final boss is going to be the neighborhood watch dude.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Didn't you say something about doing a cosplay as the neighborhood watch? Like,
yeah, that's we had the idea of what would your superpower be? And then my superpower would be I could street vision. I could shoot streets out of my eyes. Yeah, and then my costume would be like the neighborhood watch guy. Yeah.
Dude, imagine the devastating damage you can cause when you open your eyes.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's why I picked street vision. So it's a fun, cool indie platformer, man. I'm sure it'll do well when that drops. Hood Outlaws and Legends from Focus Home Interactive here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking again this game. It kind of reminds me of For Honor, right? As far as what the idea is, and it's a 4v4 online game. That's pretty cool, and that's dropping sometime next year.
It's like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a PvE battle royale sort of thing, get the treasure sort of thing. You know what I mean?
It's just 2 teams, so it's 4v4. Oh, okay, but it's PvPvE.
Yeah, like you fight like the enemies in the map. And a game that kind of does that right now, which I feel I really want to check out, that's been out for a minute, is Hunt the Showdown. Have you guys heard of that one?
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's just Bloodborne Battle Royale. That's all it is.
So that looks cool, man. I'm thinking about grabbing that up. Probably on PS5, just because it'll be on the next gen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there'll be crossplay, at least for PlayStation. And man, big surprise, honestly, for PS5. We're getting Temtem. Yeah, pretty crazy, man. Temtem, aka the better Pokemon game.
Yeah, when I was watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, is this just Pokemon? And as they were explaining it to me, that it's just what Pokemon is, but it just does some things better.
It's what Pokemon should be right now.
Ah, I see. I think my interest of Pokemon was lost years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As for, actually going out and playing the game and stuff. But I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll try this one too. Give it another try.
Oh, I'm definitely grabbing this up, yeah. Honestly, I've been kind of missing the Pokemon itch, but I just don't want to grab Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I stopped playing after Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, that's the only time I come back is to get the remakes for Gen 4. Got extensive gameplay. The last thing we see here, Godfall. And look, just say it right off the bat, man, there's a lot of very similar animations and movesets in this game from other main titles that are on PlayStation, and that is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them too, Danny. Don't worry. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, and then yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that's all I needed to know. But again, I like the way it looks. Yeah, it looks cool. Honestly, man, I think this is what I didn't like. I think it didn't hype me up as much as the initial announcement did. But now I'm not too hyped about it. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be another looter game. How many times have I played those before? Honestly, man, if I want to play a looter game, I've been watching my brother Pepe play Borderlands 3, and I won't lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. So if I'm gonna play a looter, I think I'm gonna play Borderlands 3 pretty soon.
And then of course, yeah, the God of War shields, and I'm not gonna lie, man, some of the dual blade action equipped with the shield, I'm like, oh, those are just the Blades of Chaos, bro. I played the PS4 God of War.
Yeah, I think this game is a lot of things.
If I had to pick, I would just go back to Warframe than play this. And it's similar to Warframe, right? Because the armor you wear, they're saying they have this armor was worn by other people, so they have their own lore. So it's essentially the armor is its own character kind of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, just like Warframe. That's pretty much what it is. But Warframe's pretty fun, especially with the update they're grabbing now, where you could there's an item you can equip that'll let you swap abilities between frames, and that is going to change the game up a whole lot, man. I can't wait to check that out. It's just, not that impressive. I was a little underwhelmed by the selection of weapons in this game. And I was like, oh, we're getting 3 sword types. Regular blade, long blade, dual blade, hammer, and I don't remember what the last weapon was, but I was like, oh, it's just pretty meh.
Yeah, nothing that'll spark me up, for the game. I'm sure it's gonna be a nice game, but I don't know if I'll play it at launch. maybe down the line, or maybe if it was cheap, and or maybe if it was on PS Plus.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting like a staff. Yeah, it's called the pole arm. That's what it is.
Wait, didn't we get a staff in Nile 2 recently, Danny?
Yeah, we got the split staff. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
guess
know,
what? That's
so-
also a looter action game. That's pretty fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you said before, the initial trailer did get me hyped, but I don't know. After seeing the gameplay, it's like, I mean, the shield throw's pretty cool. That's different.
You know what I think I was expecting, Danny? I think I was expecting more of like Darksiders and stuff. Kind of like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. That was State of Play, right? That was the last thing, right?
Yeah, that was the last thing. It's pretty cool. Of course, the leaks that came out, majority of what was on there wasn't even in there. So, but yeah, still impressed by State of Play. I'm glad that they brought it up again, and the fact that it was more than 20 minutes. That's what really kept me interested in watching. So that was cool. But man, Sony pissing everybody off again before State of Play, and that was with PS5. Right, we're getting sprinkled information about what's happening with this console, and before they did confirm, don't worry guys, you can use your PS4 controllers on the PS5. Cool, man. I don't want to use the controller for PS5. I'll just stick with what I have already.
Yes.
And then here they come to confirm that yes, you can use it on PS5, but it's only for the PS4 games. If you want to play PS5 games, you have to use the PS5 controller. It's one of those things where I'm like, why didn't they just say this right off the bat? Because saying like you can use it on next gen makes me automatically assume I'm going to play with PS5 games. When they said you can't, I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, you can't use a PS3 controller on PS4. But the fact that you let it like months go on end of you saying like, yeah, you can use this controller, it was pretty bad on their end. So yeah, that's the PS4, PS5. Yeah, it sucks. I'm just just keep waiting for more information to get all that info, I guess, for PS5. But then Xbox came in not that long after that announcement and said like, don't worry, you could use your Xbox One controllers on Series X.
I think I'm gonna go with the Series X first. This next gen. First foremost because of Halo. PS5 so far hasn't really like. Besides the Spider-Man game, hasn't really like rung me in. Like I need that PS5 at launch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and speaking of Xbox, right, they're going to be launching on the 15th of next month the xCloud merge with Games Pass, Ultimate Games Pass specifically. If you guys remember xCloud, that's their streaming service. Use your Xbox as the server, and then you could just stream the game. Like right now, it's just going to be for your Android phone. So you could play your Xbox games on your Android phone. And they said up to 100 titles at the moment. So we got a trailer. I don't know if you guys remember that game, Mortal Shell.
Yes. Nope. Yes, I do.
Yeah, we got the announcement, or I guess the release date trailer. That's going to be August 18th, which is real soon. Yeah, Souls-like game with its own twist, where you take over bodies that you find throughout the map. And then you harden instead of block. Yeah, it's very, very Dark Souls for sure.
Oh yeah, like the visuals are super Dark Souls. I thought it was like another one. I'm like, is this another Dark Souls game? But it's not.
Yeah, so it's it's similar as well. It's like you're just in the game. You'll get the lore of the world through items and all that stuff. So
some new characters for Street Fighter V.
Yeah, like we mentioned, the Street Fighter stream happened, and yeah, showed off. I guess they didn't say season 4, but it's practically season 4. So they announced 5 characters. They showed off 4. Everybody was pretty hyped with the selection, I would say, for the most part. We got Dan. He's coming back. That's cool. Yeah, so we're getting him. We're getting Rose, which is another great pick. And we're getting Oro. He's also coming in.
Yeah, man.
Which I don't know much about that character.
He's too powerful, so much so that he ties one hand. He only fights with one hand, because if he does fight with both hands, he will most likely kill his opponent. But yeah, that's cool that he's coming through. Mm-hmm. I was saying, like, we need more Third Strike characters.
The hypest character to drop a crossover character from rival schools.
Yes.
It's one Akira.
I don't know much about rival schools other than Sakura's from it, and that it's in the same canon and the same universe as Street Fighter. And then the final character, we don't know.
Yeah, mystery character. That'll be dropping next year, late next year.
I want to say it's going to be a guest character, like from another Capcom game.
And I'm going to be honest, man, it's a surprise that we're still getting more characters for Street Fighter V.
Right? I honestly thought the last batch would have been it, but yeah, here we are.
And while we're talking about Street Fighter, yeah, the other day we got the news on Twitter from Ono himself that he is going to be leaving Capcom this summer. Yeah, man, he's been there for I think it was 20 years.
So no more Heroes.
Apparently, yeah. No More Heroes 1. Apparently, it was leaked over in Taiwan that they have a listing for it.
Whoa.
Which it's not too surprising considering we're getting 3 on the Switch. So
yeah. Good, because I've always wanted to play those games, so I would totally get that on my Switch.
Yeah, speaking of Switch, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is coming.
That's good. That's cool.
And that's dropping October 30th.
So I guess Spider-Man's going to be an exclusive, and there's a big uproar of that I've been seeing.
We missed this last week, but yeah, so he's going to be on PlayStation, and he's going to be an exclusive, is what we heard.
The uproar. I mean, Spider-Man PS4 came out. I don't know what if it's like the shared Sony property. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this because that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, well, yeah, it's Sony Spider-Man. It makes sense. But I don't know if that was the last game. I don't think it was because, remember, Spider-Man also showed up in Ultimate Alliance 3.
Right.
And that was on the Switch, but maybe because it was just on the Switch. I don't know. It's pretty weird, man, especially because this game is also crossplay. That's another thing. And so it's like, well, how's that going to work with the online missions if PS4 users can play Spider-Man? How's that going to look on Xbox?
I would say they should just give them an exclusive character.
Yeah, I mean it just comes into that whole thing of like, oh, getting crossplay is you're bridging the gap where it's like, yeah, what's exclusive content for the same game? Who cares, kind of thing, right? Just look at Soul Calibur, that's gone, and I think it's just a bad taste in people's mouths for that. And of course, they're mad at Sony because it's probably Sony's decision when it comes to this. And it's also the way it's worded too. It says, yeah, he'll be dropping early 2021 at no additional cost. So I wonder if that means when they continue to add characters, is that it's going to be paid DLC. Yeah, and I guess he's going to have his own story arc within the game when he comes out. But hey, man, over on DC side, Rocksteady teasing a new game,
dude,
and it's called Suicide Squad, which has been leaked for a while. Like, that was the rumors for a good while, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah, yo is all I gotta say, man. Yo.
Yeah, and the teaser image is Superman. So, that's...
Yeah, they're gonna be after Superman. I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fun. I wonder who's gonna be part of the Suicide Squad, because you know how it could, like, change and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume Killer Croc, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and then honestly the rest could just be up in the air because there's just so many members.
There is. We'll see. I wonder if it's gonna play like the Arkham games though. I kind of hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I hope they really change it up.
Yeah. But that was hype. I'm excited for. I think the date is at the end of the month.
Yeah, they're gonna be showing it off at the DC Fandom event, and that's on the 22nd. Over here at Jump Force, right? That's still going on with the season pass. We're getting a Meruem as DLC. If you guys remember, that's he's the Chimera Ant boss in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, it's a Hunter x Hunter character?
Yeah, he's like Cell, basically.
Cell? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we knew there was going to be a Hunter x Hunter character. I just didn't know who it was. But yeah, it makes sense to have him show up.
Speaking about Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yes.
Broke its record.
Oh, for hiatus time, I think? That's what I heard?
Hiatus. Yep, I think it's 89 weeks now.
89 weeks, guys, and counting. It's going to be 90 soon.
And, as far as I'm concerned, the manga ended a very long time ago, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I remember you guys were explaining it to me and how and when it should have ended and why it should not keep going. I remember that.
And let me tell you, Julian, if you ever read Hunter x Hunter, just watch it. I would say. I don't know what the differences are. I haven't looked into that. But good lord, like the Chimera Ant arc is pretty solid, but the art is just so trash because this guy was sick, and it's just like the storyboard for the storyboards.
That's wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I think there's 3 more characters left for the season pass. Okay, so yeah, after that it's gonna be Yu Yu Hakusho, and then it's gonna be Bleach, and then JoJo. We like DOA, right, Julian?
Of course, yes.
And we know the problems with DOA was the season passes, $90, $100,
yeah.
And you would think like, yeah, that's probably the only game I would ever see this happen to. Turns out, no, man. Fairy Tail is following this trend for some strange reason. I haven't looked at it on PSN or anywhere else, but yeah, I guess there are multiple DLC costume packs, just like in DOA, and I guess they're $40 each.
Jesus Christ.
Which is crazy. And then the season pass for the game, which is only including, if I'm not mistaken, it's including 4 or 5 characters. I know there are some costumes, and then they are adding more missions. That is $60. That is the full price of the game itself.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's really crazy, man. And this is Koei Tecmo doing it too, so yeah, it's of course.
Oh, it's a Koei Tecmo game?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
developing it, or they're publishing it.
Oh, of course. God damn it.
Okay, yeah. So the season pass is $60. They're adding 4 characters. They're adding an extreme difficulty option and 1 new dungeon. Yeah, so, okay, characters, cool. We're only getting 1 new thing to do, and that's $60. That's the full price of the game. That's absurd.
Yeah, very absurd. I highly agree.
Yeah, and, I listed off, so no, the costume sets they're not included in the...
That's not a great practice at all. Like, this is what drove away people from DOA. One of the reasons. And now you're just putting it to like people. Let's say like there's people that love Fairy Tail, I'm sure there is. They're really hyped for this game, and then you do this to them. It's like, what the fuck,
Yeah, and the base game itself's not even that long. It's covering at least 2 of the main arcs towards the end of the series. Yeah, it's just so crazy to see this game have this treatment. I mean, yeah, Koei Tecmo makes sense. I understand the costume because similar to One Piece, every arc, characters will wear multiple outfits. Do it like they did it in the Pirate Warriors games for One Piece. The season passes, I think, were only like $15, and you got, like, I think 20 costumes. I saw the update came out for the photo mode, so that now that's in the game. And I was reading into it, and it sounds pretty awful, which is sad to say because, I'm a big fan of photo mode. But yeah, it's like, oh, you can't do it during combat. So I'm like, so what's the point? Because I want to get all that flashy stuff in photo mode. And like the models can get pretty janky, and the game sounds like a mess. I mean, I do want to check out the game because I know like it's RPG, and the studio that makes it, they make their own series of RPG games, and I heard those are good. So I was like, I might as well try out how their system works on an IP I know. That just confirms, like, I'm still just going to wait on this game for a while.
I'm still in the arc where it was like the martial arts tournament.
Okay.
Finished that, and last thing I was on was chapter 75, which actually I'm on chapter 77. But, yeah, man, it's been hella fun. My God. This is why, reading this is a lot of the reasons why I prefer manga sometimes, It's just a lot of things. Like, I wrote down a lot of things. I mean, this Monster King guy, what I thought. Dude, it looks a lot like the House of the Dead. I think one boss. This guy, what's his name again?
Yusuke Murata, man.
Yeah, like this guy just does absolutely amazing art. It's so good. Yeah, that arc was pretty cool. I don't know if that's the end of that arc, but it was freaking cool. The whole martial arts thing. And this guy, Suiryu, was just fucking like a bootleg Goku, dude.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. It was nice. It was a nice read because that's, we've read the webtoon, and this is more or less adapting it. But this was all new story content, and that was real nice to see. And it fits in so well, and that's why I think if you're gonna get into One Punch Man, definitely just read the manga because at this point, the webcomics not really canon anymore. There's stuff added, and things are kind of changing. This is all that he's focusing on right now. One, who's the author, because he hasn't updated the webcomic in a long time, so I think he's more or less done with that.
And she's full on going to the manga, yeah?
Yeah, well, also because the arc, the last time I checked it out, which was it was years ago when I reviewed it on the podcast, where that left off was the arc after what's going on right now in the manga.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and, the fact that he hasn't updated, it's just you might as well just stick to this and just keep going.
Yeah, Atomic Samurai is just fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, he's great. He's a solid character.
Yeah, dude. Also, man, I don't know why, but I just, really care about the other heroes. I don't know, I know it's called One Punch Man, and it's supposed to be about Saitama, but, I end up caring sometimes a lot more for the other class heroes and stuff than Saitama. It's great. It's great to see what they go through. It's kind of like going through all these character developments and stuff. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
it's a great time. I love it.
That's the thing I liked about One Punch Man is that the world building is really, really good. Every character that's introduced, they get fleshed out pretty well. It's never a dull moment in the series.
Yeah, again, just been having a grand time.
I'm getting back into the streaming game. It's over at Negator 7. Working out the kinks and see where we go from there this week. And of course, Jerry is streaming over at Jerry Omega. He is still going through the grind in the Surge. And I hop back on that. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't miss this grind at all. So
Nice.
Kudos to him, man, for trooping that out. Yeah, I'm about to say it's gonna wrap us up, man. So thanks for swinging by, guys. Unverse Podcast on social media. Let you know when the latest episode drops. And again, you can email us unversepodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments. We would love to talk about it. So thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you later.